I think, as most of us have, and I've borne witness to comments made by executives of rather large corporations across the state. I think I've borne witness to newspaper ads taken out by governors from other states. And in fact, I think we had a visit here not that long ago from the governor of Florida. And, you know, I would be remiss, I think, in voting against this amendment, but I got to tell you, this to me is almost too little too late. I've served on the Labor Committee now, I think, for 6 years, and for 6 years this chamber, in fact, both chambers on many accounts, have passed legislation that have been exactly to counter to what the business community has asked for. Exactly counter. Not even close. This year, as some of my colleagues have said, we passed legislation. I won't say we passed legislation anymore. This chamber passed legislation that imposed taxes that didn't even have public hearings. So I'm trying to imagine exactly how a corporate whatever, CEO, CFO, manager, could warm up to this state in a way by sitting down with a commission over a conversation, a series of 6 months, when we've done what we've done year after year. What could we possibly tell them? What does someone sit across the table to the CEO of Aetna, UTC, IBM, Stanley? How do you look somebody in the eye and say, we've changed, we're not going to do this anymore? We're not going to implement a tax that hasn't had a public hearing. We're not going to implement a retroactive tax. We're not going to increase the benefits to someone unilaterally without having them bargain for them. As I said, I think I'd be remiss in voting against this, but I got to tell you, I can't imagine how anyone's going to react to this tomorrow. There's some in some other state tomorrow talking to someone else there from a DECD or a governor or a lieutenant governor about moving their corporation, and we're going to form a group. So I'm happy somebody here thought this was a good idea, and I'm willing to give it a try. But I got to tell you, I don't know how you can year after year sit across the table with people and say we're going to change when we've demonstrated no ability to change so far. We spend more money than we make, and it doesn't seem to make a difference. And for the first time in the 15 years I've been up here, I have heard from constituents, Democrats, unaffiliates, and Republicans, you folks can't be trusted. That's what I've heard. We don't believe you. And that's all of us, me included, because I'm part of this group. And so I have no way of deflecting that anymore. But to be honest, Mr. Speaker, I honestly don't understand how anybody running any of these corporations could sit across the table from us and say, we're going to give you one more try. We're not moving to Tennessee. We're not going to Florida. We're not going to Texas. We're not going to some other state where we know the tax structure is different. We know the philosophy of the governor and the legislature is different. I just don't understand. I'm hopeful that another shoe's not going to drop in the next 6 months, because I think Representative Davis is right. When you start losing salaries in the $100,000 range, there goes our tax base. There go the people that pay people $30,000 a year to do maintenance work on their house, or $20,000 a year to cut their lawn and take care of the grounds. There's a ripple effect to all those decisions, and those jobs are not going to be replaced here. So I do intend to support it. I'm not excited about it. I don't think it's a win. I know there are some people in this chamber that thinks it's a win. I don't think it is, but I'm willing to give you that chance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.